collaborative. I want to thank our friends and partners at Forefront Baltimore for working with us to create our first ever national road trip for all college-bound teens and their parents. I'm thrilled to announce that we have had over 8,000 visitors to our website, roadtriptocollege.org, 800 participants in our info sessions and webinars. We've featured 150 admissions reps and Hillel professionals. We've engaged with 80 Jewish college students, and when all is said and done, we're going to have brought you 33 college info sessions in the month of June. All of our content is being recorded and can be found on our YouTube channel, which can be found on our website, which is again, roadtriptocollege.org. I want to thank Alabama student Sammy Harris for taking over our Instagram today. You can follow Sammy and all of our virtual bus drivers at JumpSparkATL. So we are extremely excited today to feature the University of Alabama. Our panelists today are from admissions, Jeremy Reed, from Hillel, Lisa Besnoy, and our students are Eileen Tuck and Jason Rothfarb. So as our panelists are presenting, please feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A. We're going to leave plenty of time at the end to answer all your questions. And so with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Jeremy.
All right, well, good afternoon and Roll Tide. I love that, Amy. I appreciate you leading us off with a Roll Tide. That really did warm my heart to hear a Roll Tide. So I hope everybody is doing well. As she mentioned, my name is Jeremy Reed. I am the manager of campus tours and customer relations for the Office of Undergraduate Admission here at the University of Alabama. And so for the next few minutes, what I'm going to do is walk you through our information session. So I want to give you a little bit of information about the University of Alabama. And of course, as we go throughout our time together, we do have a question and answer, I believe, at the end. So hang on to those questions because we want to make sure that we answer any and every question that you have. And as Amy said, we do have some students that are joining us today. So I want to make sure that you know that we have good student representation today. So here's what I'm going to talk about the University of Alabama. First, I want to cover sustained academic success. We want to talk about a few different programs. I know many of you may know what you want to do. Some of you may not exactly know what you want to do just yet in college, and that's fine. So I'm going to walk through a few different things as it relates to the University of Alabama. Then I'm going to talk about dynamic campus involvement. So the classroom is important. That's the reason why we go to college, is to get those skills and help develop ourselves for our career, but also we want to be involved outside of the classroom. So I'm going to talk about that. And obviously our students are going to be able to share their experience as well. Third, we're going to talk about the application processes. So we're going to talk about the admission application. I'm going to talk about the scholarship application, and I will mention the Honors College application as well. And then finally, I'll briefly touch on what's called the enrollment checklist. So these are going to be things that you do during your senior year as you're preparing to enter the University of Alabama. So I'll briefly cover all four of these aspects, but I want to first talk about sustained academic success. So this is our bread and butter. This is what you may have seen us on television for sports, and I saw the Instagram story today that we did, and so it was really fun. You got to see football, you got to see some other things, and those are all well and good, but those are hobbies to us, and this is really what we focus on here. Is this sustained academic success? We have 12 different colleges on campus that offer over 200 different degree programs. So whether it's in our College of Engineering, our College of Arts and Sciences, maybe you're thinking about pre-med, maybe you're thinking about pre-law, all of those are going to be in our College of Arts and Sciences. My background is communication. I did my graduate degree at the University of Alabama, and I'm currently working on a doctorate in higher education administration. And so I've kind of been around in a couple of different colleges on campus. Maybe you're thinking engineering, maybe you're thinking business, all of these programs we have. And so I encourage you to visit our website, and I'll provide you some information at the end if you want to learn about the different programs that the University of Alabama has to offer. But 12 colleges on campus, over 200 different degree programs. And if the university doesn't have exactly what you're looking for, you have the opportunity to create a degree program, what's called our new college. If you look at the third paragraph there, you're able to see about our new college program, and that's a way for you to learn more about creating your own major. So if the university doesn't have it, we can create it, and you can put that together, and whatever your definition of success is. We're very proud of our student to faculty ratio, and you can see that's 23-1. And so really what we base that on is being able to create relationships between our students and our faculty. We really want our students to be engaged in research, to be engaged kind of on the cutting edge. We're our state's flagship university, so that means we lead the way in teaching and research and service. And so we want to make sure that we're plugging our students in. And we're only able to do that if we allow our students to have access to our faculty members. And so we're really proud of 23-1. And we can see some results in that because not too long ago, the Carnegie Institute named the University of Alabama as having very high research activity. And so that's actually the highest designation that Carnegie offers. And you may be surprised to know that that's the first time that the University of Alabama has ever been recognized for very high research activity. Over the past few years, we've done a very good, put a lot of energy into research, and we feel like we are continuing to grow our research capability. So if research is where you want to go, and you want to go to a school that is on the edge of research, whether it's in engineering, whether it's in our nursing program is doing very, very well, very, very competitive in our nursing program. So you can see a number of different programs on our campus that help position our students for whatever their definition of success is, wherever they want to go. If graduate school is something you want to consider, we have a couple of pathways for that. So we have the Create Path to MBA. So that's where you can literally create your own path to the MBA program in a shorter amount of time. Normally it takes a 4-year degree and then 2 years for your MBA. But with the Create Path to MBA, you're able to do that in about 5 years. We also have the STEM Path to MBA, and it's the same thing. If you're coming from a science, technology, engineering, or mathematics field, you're able to do the STEM to MBA program in 5 years. So you're able to earn 2 degrees in a shorter amount of time to help you prepare. And again, this is really our bread and butter. This is what we are proud of the most at the University of Alabama, is helping our students work with our faculty members. And I can personally speak to the student to faculty ratio. I do some teaching on campus myself in the College of Communication and Information Sciences. So this past semester in the spring, I had a class of 16 students. We were online. Even before COVID-19, we were online. And then this fall, I'm scheduled to teach a class of 30. So if you average that out, I'm not a math guy, I'm a word guy, but the average of that is somewhere around 23. So we're able to, again, I can see that in my own classes, to be able to keep that student to faculty ratio low, and our students are going to be able to speak to that as well. The classroom is important, as I've mentioned a couple of times, but outside of the classroom is also important. So where in the classroom you pick up the skills to apply on the outside, but in the outside of the classroom, you're able to bring those back into the classroom. So we want you to make sure that you're involved on campus outside of the classroom. And with over 650 different ways to do that, you shouldn't have too much of a hard time finding your place on campus at the University of Alabama. And these are student-led organizations. So students are leading these groups, and they have their own leadership structures, and they have, of course, they have faculty and staff support for those, but obviously they are student-led organizations. And some of these groups include fraternities and sororities. About 30% of our campus is involved in Greek life. And so that means 70% are not. So if you're in that 30% that you're interested in doing Greek life, that's fantastic. There's a wonderful community there. You're able to serve. You're able to build a really good really good relationships with your classmates and others that are in your fraternity or sorority. But you also serve your community as well. Student government, I personally did student government when I was in graduate school at the university, and I really, really enjoyed it. Other campus ministries, obviously Hillel, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, and our students are going to be able to talk about their experience and involvement as students on campus. Intramural sports, honor society, social justice causes, really anything imaginable on campus. That is something that we have. We also have Quidditch. We have a Quidditch club. And so a bunch of random different organizations on campus, a grilling club, that's personally one of my favorites that I've heard of on campus. So there's a number of different organizations on campus. We really are proud of the small feel that we have around campus, but also having those major campus resources as well. So small feel, but also with those major campus resources. It's hard to make a small campus feel big, but it's easy to make a big campus feel small. And so we feel like those 650 different student organizations, you're bound and determined to find a few groups that would fit your interests. And what we recommend are getting involved in at least 3 groups. One group that would speak to your major, so something that maybe you're thinking about majoring in, or something in a career that would maybe give you some skills, or give you a community around you that is similarly focused in that. Maybe it's nursing, maybe it's accounting, maybe it's public relations. There are organizations that are fit specifically for those areas. So something that has to do with your major, something academic. Another group that we'd encourage you to get involved in is something familiar. So something that is home for you, something that you're used to, something that you're able to find some commonality and find some familiarity in. And then a third group is something new. So something that maybe challenges you a little bit, something outside of your box, and something that we would say that is new and a little bit different for you. So something academic, something new, and then something familiar. We're very proud of our inclusion and diversity on campus. About 4% of our campus are from out of state, or from out of the country, so international students. Our breakdown is 55% out of state, 45% in state. So we have a number of our students are out of state. Not too long ago, the university led the country in the enrollment of African American students by Flagship University. So you can see it within the numbers that we're really diverse of campus. We're very inclusive in the different initiatives and programs and opportunities that we have available for all of our students on campus. Well, it's important to note that all of these things are great. So everything that I've talked about so far, you would want to seek those out in a college experience. Strong, recognized academics, wonderful opportunities to get plugged in outside of the classroom. But that's all well and good unless you're admitted. So we have to talk about the admission process and what the university needs as far as an application. So we're going to shift and talk about the admission application right now. So really the 4 things that we need. The admission application, which will take you about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. You go to our website, gobama.ua.edu. You complete that directly through the University of Alabama. We're not on Common App or Coalition or any of those online applications. You apply directly to the University of Alabama. We'll need your high school transcript. We will need an ACT or an SAT test score. Obviously, with COVID-19, sometimes some folks are having a little bit of a difficult time with that. We are still requiring that. We believe you'll still be able to take those tests. From what we're hearing from the testing services, you should be able to take a test sometime soon, be able to complete that requirement. And then also the $40 application fee. What we're looking for in admission is a student that has at least a 3.0 high school GPA, and that's weighted or unweighted, with a 21 on the ACT or a 1060 on the SAT. We believe that student can be successful at the University of Alabama. The application will open in July, so July 1st, in about a week or so. The application for fall 2021 will open. You'll be able to apply to the University of Alabama. We will start making admissions decisions shortly after that. So again, 3.0, 21 on the ACT, or a 1060 on the SAT. We believe that student is admissible and successful at the University of Alabama. Our average incoming GPA is about a 3.78, and about 40% of our students have at least a 30 on the ACT. So obviously we want to go after the best and the brightest, but we want you to know kind of what we're looking at as far as admission requirements are concerned. So if you have any questions about that, let me know at the end, and I'd be more than happy to share about that. Once you're admitted to the University of Alabama, then you're going to be able to apply for scholarships. And if you go to our scholarships page, and at the bottom of my slides there, you're able to see some website links that will take you to some different places online. So if you go to scholarships.ua.edu, you'll be able to learn more about our scholarship offerings. So we have 2 types of scholarships. The first is what we call automatic offers. So these are scholarships that you would be able to earn based on the combination of your test score and your GPA. So if you have this test score combined with this GPA, we will automatically give you this amount of money. So if you go to that website there, scholarships.ua.edu, you will be able to learn more about what scholarship offers are available automatic. So based on the combination of your test score and your GPA. If you look at the scholarship application, that's the second half of scholarships. And so you're able to apply for scholarships maybe in your department, in your academic department. Could be alumni scholarships, endowed scholarships, basically any other scholarship dollar outside of undergraduate admissions. You complete one application for that, and we will farm it out to all the other offices on campus that have scholarship dollars. The deadline, this is the key date that I want you to know, is December the 15th. And so we have to have applied and been admitted in order to apply for scholarships by December the 15th. And that's a pretty hard deadline, December the 15th. We will accept fall semester transcript grades, and we will also accept test scores through the February 2021 test date. So even if you've already taken the ACT or the SAT and you know you want to improve that for scholarship purposes, you still have time. So you can still apply, still be admitted, and then keep working on that GPA and that test score through your fall semester senior year, and then your test score through February of your senior year. So some really good opportunities there. But again, if you want to learn more about scholarships, go to scholarships.ua.edu and you can learn more about that. The final application that I'd like to talk about is the Honors College. And so the Honors College is a great community of learners. And so it's a great way for you to really build some skills that maybe are a little bit different than other classes on campus. So the classes are a little bit different in how they're structured. They're more discussion based. It's a different type of reading, different type of writing. It's not necessarily more difficult. It's just a different type. And so it's a different type of challenge for you. And so some wonderful opportunities through the Honors College. The classes are a little bit different. You build your curriculum. So about a minimum of 18 hours of credit that you would take, and you just kind of weave that into your degree program, and you are able to learn more about just different areas that you're able to choose. So you're able to build the curriculum and choose the classes that you want to take. If you want to be an Honors College student right off the bat, these are the minimum requirements for that: a 30 on the ACT or a 1360 on the SAT, and then at least a 3.5 high school GPA. It's not on the screen, but I will tell you that if you were maybe like me, I didn't quite have a 30 on the ACT. I'll self-disclose that. I was just a little bit shy of the 3.5 GPA requirement coming into college. So what I would have done is I would have worked really, really hard during my first semester of college, earned at least a 3.5 GPA at the university, and then that makes me admissible as an Honors College student. So maybe if you wanted to wait a little bit on Honors College admission, or maybe you wanted to get your feet wet and get everything settled in college and then do it a little bit later, that's certainly something that you could do as well. So the Honors College, again, great community of scholars, great place to be challenged in a different way. So it's not necessarily more difficult, it's just a different type of challenge. And so there's some wonderful research opportunities through our Honors College, and some really good ways for you to connect with faculty, connect with others just like you, and you're able to learn and grow and serve all in the same area. So for the last few minutes that I have with you, I want to walk through what we call our enrollment checklist. And our enrollment checklist, these are the 3 steps that secure your seat at the University of Alabama. And these have to be done in sequential order. And everything that I've talked about, all the way from the scholarship slide a couple of slides ago to now, you're able to complete those in what's called your MyBama. And our students that we have on the call today, they know all about MyBama. That's where we do everything. So you register for classes on MyBama. You can do all kinds of things on your MyBama account, including these enrollment checklist steps. So the enrollment deposit, the housing application and deposit, and then Bama Bound orientation registration. So the first, and these are again all done once you've been admitted to the university. So the enrollment deposit completed through MyBama, a $200 non-refundable tuition prepayment. So this is just a chunk of your tuition that goes towards your housing, goes towards your tuition bill. If you receive a scholarship, these will go towards your total bill to pay for your meal plan, maybe help pay for housing, those sorts of things. And so this is a chunk of the tuition that you pay in order to move on to the housing application. So the housing application will open in October. So the earlier that you're admitted, the earlier that you're going to be able to submit your housing application and deposit. That total front end cost for housing is $200. We have 3 different styles of housing on campus. We have a suite style, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, essentially. You have your own bedroom, you share a bathroom with one other person. We have traditional style, where you share a bedroom with one other person and you share the bathroom with the rest of the floor. And then finally, we have modified traditional, which takes the best of both worlds. You share a bedroom and a bathroom with one other person. Again, as you see, the front end cost for that is $200, $165 is a deposit, $35 is the application fee, and that application fee goes towards the processing of your app. So you're able to go in and put your preferences in of what are your habits, what do you like, what do you don't like, and so housing will do their best to match you up. One key thing is if you have your housing application in between October 1 and February 1, you're able to select where you live and who you live with. And for many people, that's a pretty big deal. So if you have your housing application in between October 1 and February 1, you can select where you live, who you live with, all the way down to the actual room. So that's a really nice perk to be able to do that. And then finally, the Bama Bound orientation registration. So this is the last step in the enrollment checklist for admitted seniors. And so again, completed through MyBama. This is where you'll come to campus. This is where you'll register for classes. You'll handle all that UA business to get you set and ready to go for your freshman year. So you'll build that schedule. You'll meet your academic advisor, and you'll get everything squared away. Registration opens in February. So just as that priority window for housing closes, then Bama Bound will open up. And so you're able to register for that. We hold the sessions during the summer. So the day after Memorial Day, all the way until the week before classes start is when we hold our Bama Bound sessions. The total cost for that is $120 for students. We do have a parent orientation as well. that goes along with that. So parents, if you're sitting with your student right now watching this session, we'd love to have you too. We have a parent orientation that goes along with our student orientation. And so there's some specific sessions that we have set aside for you. We even have a sibling orientation for younger siblings that you're trying to figure out what to do with them when your college-bound student needs to do their orientation. So we do have a sibling orientation that goes along with the student orientation. If you want to learn more about housing, of course, you go to housing.sa.ua.edu and you can learn more about that. If you want to learn more about orientation, you can go to orientation.ua.edu. The last thing I have for you before I turn you over to our students is right now, of course, we're in the virtual space, just like many other colleges and universities right now. We're hoping to get back to our on-campus tours, because that's really what I do, our campus tours. And so I help oversee our campus tour program. And so we're really wanting to get back to campus tours, and we will soon. But right now we're in the virtual space. So if you want to visit one of our virtual information sessions, maybe the different colleges, arts and sciences, business, communication, education, nearly all of our colleges are doing a virtual information session right now. So if you wanted to learn more specifically about your college, about your major, and you wanted to talk with someone specific about that, you can do that. We have those available for you. We also have student-led sessions. We'd love for you to visit with even more students. You're going to learn a lot today from the students that we have joining us on the call. But also, we want you to visit with some of our capstone men and women. So they'll talk about their UA experience. You can ask them direct questions as well. And then a virtual campus tour until you can get to campus. But once we open back up with campus, we certainly want you to be able to visit campus and see us. And so that's what we want to do. So once we open back up, we will certainly contact us and let us know if you're interested. We'll make sure that we let you know when we are open and are ready to have you for a campus tour. You can see our contact information on the screen, our email address right there, admissions@ua.edu. We'd love to hear from you. And every single one of you in the room have what's called a regional recruiter. This is someone that lives, works, and plays where you are. So no matter where you are in the country, you have someone that is your recruiter for the University of Alabama. This is someone that works full-time, just like me, but they are where you are. They're in your high schools, they're at your college fairs, they work with your counselor. Your counselor knows who they are. So if you want to learn more about who that person is, go to our website, gobama.ua.edu. Feel free to give us a call. That's our direct telephone number. We have folks on campus. I actually worked on campus this morning answering calls. So I've been on campus answering phones. We have someone there that will answer calls, and we are getting back to folks. Feel free to follow us on our social media pages as well with what the University of Alabama has to offer. So again, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share about admissions, about the University of Alabama. So now what I'd like to do is turn it over to Jason and turn it over to Eileen. They are two students at the University of Alabama, and so we're really excited to have them to share their experience and talk about what the University of Alabama has to offer them and how they've gotten involved. So Eileen, Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
Thank you, Jeremy. Hey, everybody. My name is Jason Rothfarb. I am a senior at the great University of Alabama. Roll Tide. You'll start to hear that a lot for sure. I decided to go to campus my junior year of high school. My cousin went to Alabama, and I thought, why not give it a shot? I grew up a huge University of Georgia fan, so going to the Alabama campus was frowned upon by my friends and family, but I did it anyway, and I instantly fell in love. If you haven't been to campus, I highly recommend you try to get a visit in. I know it's tough with coronavirus, but once you step foot on that campus, you're just going to fall in love. So like I said earlier, I'm a senior. I'm majoring in political science, minoring in communication studies. I am in Greek life. I'm in the fraternity ZBT, and I'm also very involved in Student Government Association. So that's something that Jeremy talked a little bit about earlier today, is that how he was involved in SGA. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about my pathway in SGA. So my freshman year, I fell in love with student government. Being a political science major, it's very interesting to me. So I wanted to make a change on campus. So I decided to run for a senator for my college, and that's how the senators work. You have senators for each college at the university. So I'm in the College of Arts and Sciences. So I represented the College of Arts and Sciences over my year turn as senator. After that, I ran for the Vice President of Student Affairs. And that was by far my favorite position that I've ever held in leadership, especially. I got to work with all different types of students around what we call the capstone and learn so much about everything that they do and work with them to ensure that our students are having a great campus experience. I also got to work with a lot of administration who are just outstanding. And that's something that is so great about Alabama is you get close with the administration. There's not a big divide between student and faculty, and that's really great, especially going from high school into college where these teachers can serve as mentors and you can get really close with all of the staff on campus. So after my turn as Vice President for Student Affairs, I ran for the Executive Vice President of Student Government, and that is my current position now. So obviously, I wish I was on campus right now, just like everybody else, but we're doing everything virtual and we're making it work. I'm going to give some more time to Eileen to speak so that we have more time for questions at the end, but that's just a brief overview of my journey at the university. So Eileen.
Thanks, Jason. Hi, everyone. My name is Eileen Tuck. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a finance major with a minor in management. So I'm in the business school, but I didn't start out this way. So I came into college not knowing what I really wanted to do. I probably changed my major like five times. But the good thing about the University of Alabama is that you don't have to apply to each different college once you're in school. So like you can change from the College of Engineering to the College of Business or to the College of Arts and Sciences. And so if you're worried about not knowing what your major is, don't worry, because they will help you. The teachers at Alabama really help you figure out where you want to go in your path. So that's really helpful too. I currently serve as Hillel president. So like Jeremy said, you should join 3 clubs, one that's new, one that's familiar, and one that's related to your major. So I joined Hillel as my familiarity. I joined Tide Pack, which is our APAC group on campus, which is a little bit new for me. I'm not super into politics, but this was my gateway into that. And then one related to your major, I'm a part of Capstone Business Society. And so being in all of these 3 groups on campus has allowed me to meet so many great people. I also want to mention that if you have any sort of like learning disability, our school has a great ODS program, so you can get your accommodations done, and they let you register early, and it's a great program. Also, I am, like I said, I was president at Hillel. When I first got to Alabama, I knew I wanted Jewish life on campus. I knew that was the one thing I was looking for when applying to colleges. And when I first visited Hillel, I was like astounded by how big it was and the great people that were there. So they have a lot of opportunities, which Lisa will talk about later. But I wanted to tell you that Jewish life on campus is really important to me, and it's great. And being a Jewish student on Alabama's campus has been great. And so I guess I'm going to turn it over to Lisa to let her talk about that more.
Thanks, Eileen. I appreciate that. I'm super excited to be here to talk to everyone today a little bit more about Jewish life on campus at the University of Alabama. And I also wanted to thank everyone for taking your time to participate today, and also the team that made this possible. There are a lot of behind the scenes things that are taking place, and thank Annie and Amy and Jeremy and Jason and Eileen for taking their time to help put this together. I am a graduate of the University of Alabama. This is going to be my 9th fall as executive director of Hillel. My grandfather was born in Tuscaloosa in 1917, attended the University of Alabama. My father attended the University of Alabama, and I attended as well. I tell you this because I want you to know that Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama have a rich history in Jewish life. It's not a new thing. Students and community members have been involved in Tuscaloosa in Jewish life, Jewish community, synagogue, outreach, volunteerism, and it's something that is a staple of our life for the students and the community in Tuscaloosa. We estimate around 1,000 Jewish students on campus. You'll see numbers anywhere between 750 and 1,250. I think 1,000 right in the middle is probably pretty accurate. But one of the things that we see on our campus, whether it's a smaller Jewish population than some schools, but much larger than others, is that there's really active participation of our students. Our Hillel rivals the number of students at Shabbat dinners and Sunday brunch and holiday celebrations than that schools with thousands of Jewish students. And it's a testament to not only the hard work that's gone into Hillel, but to the amazing students who want to be a part of something special and who make it special. I give all the credit to the students for making Jewish life on campus something that students want to be a part of. They want to be together. They want to celebrate each other. We have fashioned our Hillel kind of more like a JCC. We have a basketball court, a grilling area. It's a great day when somebody is sleeping on the couch and students are studying at Hillel. We're open almost every day except Saturdays, except during football season. You'll see us there on Saturdays as well. And it's a place where students come not just for Shabbat dinner, but to have study sessions there. We have a snack room. We are reimagining what Hillel is going to look like this fall because of COVID-19. But we will promise you a couple things. We promise you that students at Hillel will never go hungry. They will always find a Jewish community, and they will always have free membership to the community synagogue, which is about 20 feet across a courtyard from Hillel, and we'll always treat them like family. So whether students need us for religious reasons or they're new in town and just need a place to find where to get their haircut, we'll be there for them too. And thank you, Jason. I just saw in the comments, Jason says that there's also amazing matzo ball soup, and that is true. We make matzo ball soup for our holidays, but also when it gets cold in Tuscaloosa, and that's about 50 degrees for us, there's usually some matzo ball soup that is in our kitchen or in our snack room freezer as well. One of the things that I think is amazing about the University of Alabama in terms of the administration and students is that we have a very supportive administration and campus ministry and religious life. We have, I went to school there in the 90s. I've been back here in Tuscaloosa for about 10 years, and we have not seen any blatant acts of anti-Semitism or BDS issues on campus. With nationwide events, we have an administration that is so responsive that they will contact us before we need to contact them for any help. UAPD for just preventative purposes is always present when we have events on campus. The administration contacts me if they hear of anything that we need to be concerned about or just to check in. And so it's an amazing place to be a part of, a university that is this large, but that I can pick up the phone and text the provost if I have a question or need anything. And that's one of the things that's really special about the campus life, is that it's really a place where we all work together and we all come together as one. I always say for the Jewish students, it's enough Jewish students where you don't feel like you're the only one on campus, but it's a small enough population where it's a special place to be. Students are excited to find each other. Living in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, you would think that maybe Jewish life is not very large. I have 2 children who are so secure in their Jewish identity. As a matter of fact, my daughter just walked through. She's wearing her Roll Tide in Hebrew t-shirt today. And it's because of our wonderful students at Hillel. And it's because they can walk into a room with 200 Jewish students for Shabbat dinner and know that that's a fun place to be. And it's a place that is exciting and students are excited to see each other. And I appreciate that from the Jewish community on campus. And I appreciate that from the support that the university provides for us as well. So it looks like we have about 20 minutes left. I'm going to pass it back to Amy, I believe, for questions and answers.
Yes. Great, Lisa. Thank you so much, everybody. That was wonderful. All of us got a great sense of how warm and welcoming the Alabama community is. So let's go ahead and start answering some questions. Please feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A at the bottom. Why don't we start with our students? Would love to talk to you about what your freshman experience was like. I think a lot of students who might be on this call, the expectation is you're going to go to college, you're going to be so happy, right? As soon as you get there. But I think it is a transition and it's not always easy. So Eileen, why don't we start with you, and you can talk a little bit about how you transitioned and what kind of resources did Alabama have to help you with that?
Yeah. So I rushed my freshman year, and I ended up joining a sorority, and it just turned out it wasn't for me, and that's okay. I think it's definitely worth to try. And you know what? You'll trust the process. Like you will find your place, and if you don't, that's okay as well. Like there's plenty of other opportunities to do on campus, like Hillel, and we could. So Hillel, you don't have to be just in Greek life, and there's plenty of people who are in Greek life or not. So that was also a great thing about our Hillel, is that it's a great place to just be yourself and be a Jewish student and meet other Jewish students, no matter what your Greek affiliation is. Also, I lived in Lakeside West, which is not the typical dorm that people pick to live in, but I say it's definitely like a fine dorm. Like all the dorms are super nice. There's bathrooms. There's like I lived in a suite style dorm, so that was really really nice. We had 4 people to a room. And I would say, like I said before, I changed my major straight out of like the first month. I came in as a psychology major and I changed to engineering, which is a big change. But luckily, the administrators and the counselors at the Career Center definitely helped me figure out what I was doing. Clearly, I'm finance now, so I went back for multiple times for help. The Career Center also is very helpful. And yeah, that was my freshman year.
Awesome. Jason, would love to hear a little bit about your transition.
Yeah, so definitely high school, I think, prepares you for college, but more importantly, college prepares you for college, especially at the University of Alabama. Stepping foot on campus, I was really nervous. It's a huge school, but like Jeremy said earlier, it's a big school, but it feels very small. And that's thanks to all the great students and all of the great faculty, like I said earlier. So the transition it's very interesting because you do it with freshmen. And all the new students. So you're all in the same boat. You go from being a senior at high school, the top of high school, to being just a little freshman at college. But it's so great because that's not really the case in college anymore. I don't really see seniority on campus that much, just because it's such a big campus and everyone their own thing, which is so nice. So my first class, I had class with seniors, I had class with freshmen, I had class with sophomores and juniors. So definitely you're all together, which is nice because it's not, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this as a freshman. You have the capability to really branch out and do your schedule and do what you would like. So opposite from Eileen, I lived in a very big dorm. I lived in Presidential Village 2. It's one of the newer dorms on campus. They have 2 dorms, Presidential Village 1, Presidential Village 2, and they are right next to each other with a recreational center and an incredible kitchen in between, sort of like a grocery store. So that was nice for my parents to see that I will not be going hungry. But my freshman experience was great. I got involved with Hillel early. I actually met Lisa when I was a senior in high school just to see what Hillel was all about. And we had a great expansion of Hillel this year. So it is rocking, and the matzo ball soup is to die for. But the freshman experience is incredible. I think Alabama puts so much effort into their freshmen and making sure that they're happy and that they can do what they want and that they have all the resources that they need throughout their freshman year to get started. And then they're not going anywhere. So the help is always there until your senior year.
Awesome. One of the questions in the chat is about which of the fraternities and sororities are Jewish affiliated. Also, are there other fraternities and sororities where Jewish students belong? Jason, do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So for fraternities, we have three major Jewish fraternities, and that is AEPi, ZBT, and SAMI. And then, but what's awesome about Alabama is there are Jews spread out everywhere. So in every fraternity, I think every fraternity there's a Jewish person. And that's so great because there's not, like, you can go wherever you want. You don't have to be in one Jewish fraternity. There are multiple options. You don't have to be in a Jewish fraternity because you can be in whichever fraternity that works best for you. I think Eileen will probably know more about the sororities than me, but I do know that just like the fraternities, there are Jewish sororities. There are Jews in every sorority, and I think everyone is very accepting.
Yeah, so Sigma Delta Tau is at Alabama, but I don't think it's not registered as a nationally Jewish sorority anymore. But there are still some Jewish girls that are in that. And then that would be the only one I would say is actually Jewish. But there are Jewish girls in probably every single sorority. I would say that there's a lot in Kappa Alpha Theta, there's a lot in Tri Delta, there's a lot in KD, they're everywhere. You'll find a Jewish person in every sorority. But if you want more of like a Jewish sorority life, Hillel honestly has been like a Jewish sorority for me. And like, I've gotten to know so many people of all ages, and I've gotten so close to all of them. So I would say that Hillel is like the Jewish sorority, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and going off of that, like Eileen spoke about earlier, like you do not have to be in Greek life. It's not for everybody. It has benefits, but not being in Greek life also has its benefits. And Hillel is perfect because Greek life, not Greek life, this fraternity, that fraternity, it does not matter because you're all there for the same reason. And that's what's so nice about it is you can walk in and have this set of friends. You can have your Hillel friends that you see every day on campus. And that's another way that the big university can feel small is just by the people that you meet at Hillel.
Great, thank you guys so much. Okay, so there's a question about the University of Alabama and being supportive of Pride, and that I think we can sort of open that up a little bit in terms of diversity and how does the University of Alabama support all its communities, and especially at this time in America. So do you want to maybe start, Jeremy, with that?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So on campus, we have a number of different initiatives, primarily based out of our office or division of equity, inclusion, and DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. They just renamed us. That's why I'm having a hard time getting all the everything in there to kind of cover the all-encompassing of what they're able to do. And so there's a number of different initiatives, a number of different opportunities that our Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion has. And so there's a Safe Zone is an opportunity for students to understand, the different areas and communities that are built for different individuals, and so you're able to see what opportunities are available there. There's some different groups specifically within Safe Zone. There's even some that are based in colleges, and so you're able to, if you're a certain major and you want to be involved, in inclusion initiatives at the university, those are available for you there. So the university does pride itself on that. We have an entire area that really is the starting voice for that, but it trickles out all onto campus. And so we're really proud of the inclusive nature of our campus. And so the opportunities that we have for students to plug in, no matter what orientation, no matter who you are, there's a place for everyone on campus.
Great, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the things I know that Alabama is known for is football. And I'd love to hear from Jason and Eileen about, what does your typical weekend look like? I mean, obviously in the fall, we know what that means, but I think in general, like students want to know, okay, what's my life going to be like? I show up, you know, at the University of Alabama, what can I expect? You want to go ahead and start, Jason, on that?
Yeah, is this referring to game day weekends, or
There's
just
game days, but also, you know, what does your Sunday look like too? So because we can't, it can't be all play. So how do you sort of also balance your academics with your social life? And
Yeah, absolutely. So time management is huge in college, and that's something that in high school it's sort of already there for you because you know when you're going to be in school from 7 to 3. You know, every single day, Monday through Friday, that's when you're going to be in school. And then at home, you do your homework and then you hang out. So for college, it's you have to do your homework in between classes. You have to do it at night. You have to set aside time to make sure you're getting your work done outside your classes because your Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule could be different than your Tuesday, Thursday schedule. So that's something that you'll pick up on very quickly. But it's a matter of finding time to. Do you want to be doing homework on Friday night and Saturday? Probably not so much. So for me, Sunday is a huge homework day for me and most people. I'll either be in my fraternity house or at Hillel because Hillel is perfect for studying. Everyone's very respectful, and Lisa has a very cute dog that runs around. So that's always nice. But a game day weekend, for example, I'll make sure I have the majority of my work done by Thursday. So Friday, when I'm out of class, I can hang out with my friends. Saturday, I'll go tailgate at my fraternity house, move over to the quad, which is our big green tailgate campus. It's awesome on game days. And then walk over 2-minute walk from the quad to Bryant Denny and cheer on the Tide and watch us win by 50 or 60 points. And then Sunday is study day. So it's a pretty good routine that I highly recommend everyone experiences.
that sounds amazing. Um, and you know, talk a little bit about like what's the town like? You know, is it walking distance? What kinds of things do you do there? Eileen, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so Tuscaloosa is small, but it's actually not as small as most people think. We have an area called the Strip, which is attached to campus, and so you can either get there by walking, or Alabama has these buses called the Crimson Ride buses that will take you, and it's free and it's all over campus. It can take you anywhere, and so that has a couple of restaurants and a grocery store, and so that's all walking distance. We also have a downtown area with like local restaurants, which is really nice. They have really good Mexican restaurants, burger places, Italian. It's really good. And then we also have this area called Midtown Village, which has restaurants and stores. So it's like, I don't know, because you guys are all from Atlanta. If you've ever been to like the Forum or the Avenue, I would say it's kind of similar to that. And it's really great. And then there's also a local lake, I would say probably like 20 minutes away, called Lake Nickel. So you can go there if you know somebody with a car. But yeah, so there's also Uber and Lyft and all those sorts of things on campus. So if you need to get anywhere and you don't have a car, those are the ways you'd probably get there.
Great. And is are most things walkable, or do people spend more time like with bikes or having to take a bus from like, you know, your dorm to your classes?
Freshman year, I would say everything's pretty much walkable, like the Strip. But there are people that take that ride bikes. But there's also the buses like on rainy days, or if you're just kind of feeling lazy in the morning, or those buses are really, really nice. Everything you need freshman year is walkable, I would say. But if there's anything extra you would want to do, you might need to like grab like a joyride, which are these golf carts that take you for $3 anywhere you want, which are really fun and safe. They have seatbelts. And so those are definitely very helpful. I would say anything that you absolutely need, you can walk to. And Jason just said that a lot of people from out of state fly into Birmingham or get picked up because it's only an hour away. So it's really nice. Like you can call me and I'd come pick you up at the airport, or somebody from Hillel could obviously do that too. And then it's only a 3.5 hour drive from Atlanta, depending on where you are.
Great. Okay, so I was interested, Jeremy, to hear that the in-state and out-of-state out-of-state population is like what 55-45, which is very
Yes, ma'am.
different than a lot of state universities. So the people that come from out of state, where, I mean, do you have sort of, numbers in terms of, are they mostly from the South? What other states are really, really popular in terms of coming to Alabama?
Sure. So a number of different, from across the country, I think people see the value in an Alabama education. We get a number of students from obviously the South, so a lot from Florida, New York and New Jersey is a popular state. Illinois is also one as well. California and Texas are also very popular states for us. And so a number of different students come from those areas, but obviously from the South as well. And then of course the state of Alabama, we're the flagship for the state. And so we want to be the university of choice for our students in the state of Alabama, because we're their university, but also for folks out of state as well, because that creates a great community for everyone to learn and grow together. So, but yes, ma'am. So about 55 to 45% split in-state to out-of-state. And a number of our students, like I said, Florida, Texas, California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, those are a number of our states where we have lots of different students coming from those areas. You'd be surprised if you start asking around, you probably know somebody that went to Alabama.
Definitely, that is very cool. So Eileen and Jason, I'd just love for you to just speak, directly to like the high school juniors and seniors that are on this call. And what advice would you give them, knowing that they are going through this college admissions process? What do you wish somebody would have told you when you were going through it? Eileen, you wanna start?
Yeah, I would say try and figure out what you want to do and see what schools have those programs. Because when I was applying, I had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just applied to where everyone else was. Have a particular interest, make sure you look at the right program for you. Check how like the Jewish life is there, because that's like for me one of the most important things is. So like if that's important to you as well, you should also look into that. Also like social life. I would say just talk to a college counselor and see what they think based on your scores and everything, and just trust your gut.
Very good. Jason?
Yeah, definitely agree with everything that Eileen said. One thing that helped me with my college decision was making a pro-con sheet. And I know that sounds sort of juvenile, but I make pro-con sheets for everything. And they're so helpful because seeing the benefits, like the pros and the cons of what decision you're trying to make in front of you is super helpful. So talking with someone that goes to the University of Alabama, such as Eileen and myself, like we can tell you what the day-to-day is. We can tell you the pros and we can tell you the cons. There aren't many cons, but definitely just make the best decision for you. But also when you're thinking about college, don't just think your freshman year, think past that. Think, how can this help me out? How will this college help me when I graduate? Like, what will I gain from this college when it's time to graduate? And that's something that I think people don't think about too often because they're just thinking about the college experience. But when you think about college experience, what you have in your brain is a lot of what's going to happen your freshman year. But you do have years after your freshman year, we hope. So definitely think about what this college can do for you. And I know Alabama can do a lot for a lot of people, and it has, and it is not going to stop anytime soon.
Fantastic. That was really helpful advice. And I just want to let everybody know that we are going to follow up by sending everyone an email with all of the email addresses of our panelists. So if you have any more questions, we encourage you to reach out to them. And as they said, that they're so happy to answer your questions. I want to thank all of our panelists today. You guys were amazing. It was a very informative hour, and thank you for your time and for your dedication and for your help with this program. I also want to thank all the teens and the parents that are on the call today. So what's coming up on the college road trip? Tomorrow, we have the University of Texas at 5 o'clock. On Thursday, we have Virginia Tech, also at 5 o'clock. On Friday, we have a lunchtime workshop for high school seniors entitled College Applications, What to Do Before the Beach. And then next week, we are going to be finishing this up. So on Sunday, we have Rollins College. On Monday, we have Wake Forest. And on Tuesday, the 30th, we have Vanderbilt. So I just want to say, again, thank you so much to everyone who helped out today. Also, you can register for any of these sessions at our website, roadtriptocollege.org, and you can follow us on social media at JumpSparkATL. And afterwards, you're going to get a link to a survey. Please take the survey. Let us know what was helpful, what we can do to make it even more helpful. And I would just want to thank everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.